I'm Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. Okay, late fall 2021. Article in the Wall Street Journal today. Zillow, the big real estate tech firm based in the United States, they announced here that their flipping division was a flop. So I don't know if you saw this. It's been in the news here the last couple of days. You know, Zillow decided, I guess about 2 years ago, that they thought that through computer algorithms and a bunch of other stuff that they could forecast the real estate market in the United States, which is a fool's errand. As you guys know, I've said many times before, who knows what the stock market or the real estate market is going to do in the short term? Nobody knows. Any economists that tell you what it's going to do, or any of these pundits you'll see on BNN or any other place, they're just guessing at it, plain and simple. But Zillow thought that, hey, we can kind of forecast this, so you know what? Let's get into house flipping. Let's use billions of dollars. We'll start buying up homes and condos, and we will flip them for big profit. In some cases, in a lot of the cases, we'll rehab them or renovate them, and then add more value to it and sell them at a great profit. Well, that turned out they didn't know what they were doing, and they've admitted to it now. Too many variables. Now, if they would have called me, I would have told them, you're nuts to be doing something like this. I've done many blogs in the past on house flipping and speculating in real estate. And we still see these, people in the news saying that, the price of Vancouver real estate is so high because, of course, money launderers. And I also see the one about flippers, speculators, buying homes, maybe fixing them up and flipping them. And as I've been saying for a long time, there are a few of those deals out there, but very few these days. Our friction costs are too high and there's way too much risk, as I'm going to get to in a minute. But Zillow here, apparently they've got 9,800 homes that they currently own. 66% of their inventory was bought above what their current asking price is. So it's been a massive flop here for Zillow. And so they're going to liquidate their entire holdings here. And they're also going to lay off 25% of their workforce. So, the shares, Zillow has been just crushed. The share price is down 30% in the last 10 days. So nuts. Now, I've done blogs on speculating and flipping here. You can go back into my archives because I know there are some people out there that think that that's one of the reasons, one of the drivers for our prices being so high. And I'm here to tell you it's not. If you go back and watch my earlier blogs on this, sure, in 2017 and in some of our hotter markets, there was some of that going on. I was dealing with some of these flippers on some of my sales. But as I've said in that other blog, this is a very small group of real experienced pros that are making money at this. You've got to know what you're doing with this. The secret, first off, is you've got to have a team. Generally, that team has to have a licensed realtor on it because that way you can sell your own property and avoid the commissions. And you also have to have all the tradespeople. You have to be able to do all the work yourself. Because 50% of a reno is material and the other 50% is labor. Well, if you can cut your labor down to almost nothing, have it all done in-house, or maybe a few select things you need to get a tradesman for, that will, of course, boost your success level, boost your profit margin a great deal. Now, I've had many investors and flippers look at properties, everything from detached homes to condos to townhomes, that every time when I used to list a townhouse at East Vancouver or Richmond or Burnaby, if it was a dilapidated townhouse, these guys would be in there. They would be one of the first to call me, one of the first to look at it. They would also be one of the first to give me what we call a bully offer. Sometimes they would do it sight unseen. It was always a lowball offer, always, and I would tell them, hey, I'm not looking at offers today. I'm showing it for a week. Offer night is next Tuesday or next Wednesday. Well, they'd be in there most of the time next Wednesday, but the offers were always low. I believe I sold one townhouse to them out of about 30 that they probably looked at and offered on. They're always lowball offers for the reason is that they're pros. They know what they need to get this unit for. They got to get it at a steal. Of course, they do all the work themselves. They're all tradesmen. They're carpenters, plumbers. They do all their own electrical work. It's mostly re-and-re's, so they're not getting permits and things like that. And then one of them is a licensed realtor. So when they're ready to put it back on the market, they avoid the commissions. So, I sold them one unit back about 4 years ago out of all the tries. And yeah, they made a little bit of money on it. They did a nice job on the reno. They got it at a good price. It was a trustee sale for me. It was a mess. It wasn't livable. Needed a lot of work. And I would say at the end of the day, they probably made, I'm just using it as a rough calculation, let's call it $30,000. Because again, they didn't have to spend a whole lot of money on the labor. They did that themselves. They're mostly spending just mostly on materials. $30,000 for about a 3-month, 2.5, 3 months worth of work. Not bad. Although keep in mind, that's taxable at their full marginal rate. That's not taxed as capital gains because this is full-time work for these guys. So, maybe they clear $20,000 for 2.5, 3 months work. There's a lot of risk there because eventually it's like playing musical chairs. You need the market to continue to go up while you're renovating it. If the market turns, and it could, you can be underwater. And these real pros, they've got a bankroll, and generally if that happens, they can at least hold the property. Keep the property, maybe put a tenant in it and ride the market out until it turns again. Most people don't have that. So be very careful with flipping. It's not very prominent in Vancouver. The other reason, of course, is the friction costs here are extremely high in buying and selling real estate. We've got the PTT on the way in, which is a total tax grab, 1% on the first 200, 2% on the balance. You've got real estate commissions for a guy like me, unless you're a team like these other guys that have everything in-house. But I'm gonna charge you $15,000, $20,000 to sell the property. You've got all your material costs, which have skyrocketed lately with COVID. And then, of course, half your expenses are going to be your labor. If you're shopping that out to tradespeople and you don't have your own team, well, good luck. It could take you 6 months to renovate that unit, and that's going to drive your overall costs up. So there are a few people that are still occasionally buying these, renovating them, flipping them, but it's a dangerous proposition. I advise most people don't do it unless you're a seasoned pro and have a team. And it is definitely not having any material effect on prices in the lower mainland here. It's not happening all that frequently. I'm Owen Bigland. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.